Tell me, have you ever thought of yourself as powerful? As someone who isn't afraid to go out and about in this world and shine? However, was there a time in your life where you doubted yourself, even if it was just for a split second? You are more powerful than you know, and they fear the day that you discover it, is a quote by someone unknown. What strikes you about this quote? What strikes me about this quote is the words power and you. Power because, well, it can mean many, many different things. However, you and power creates an atomic bomb mentally, simply because we all have flaws and we all doubt ourselves from time to time. And the worst part is, we feed off of every negative comment people make of us. That, my friends, causes people to lose their sense of specialty and happiness. Have you heard of low self-esteem? Yes, no, maybe here and there. Well, it's becoming an epidemic in the United States. Epidemic meaning it's starting to become a greater problem than it already is. It's an enormous challenge for people to face because it impacts daily life mentally and physically for a very long time. It causes people to make horrible decisions in their life. Opinions are opinions and people act before they think. It's human nature and eventually we move on. But some of us don't, and we need to stop it now. Did you know that the most frequently asked question in the world is, "Are you okay?" And the most frequent answer to that question is, "I'm fine." Have you ever found yourself doing that? Saying you're fine when you really aren't? Well, guess what? 350 million people in the world today are not fine, and they are doing exactly what you did. Think about self-esteem as hardly as a hierarchy. There's a high, medium, and low. In general, self-esteem refers to how much you value yourself and how important you think you are. Low self-esteem is, however, a condition that keeps individuals from realizing their full potential. For example, being harshly criticized or even expected a lot from parents, peers, and even friends could result in low self-esteem. Here's some facts. Medium self-esteem is simply the result of having no traumatizing and excruciating events that happened in your life. For example, getting average grades, wearing average clothing, and living an average lifestyle simply gives you a medium self-esteem. Finally, high self-esteem means that you love yourself even if you make mistakes. While it could be a bad thing, it can also be a really good thing. Now, the way to improve self-esteem is by defining the root of the problem. But first, take a look at what high self-esteem is. Okay. Usually, low self-esteem is caused by childhood traumas, such as being neglected or abused. Others may include failing to meet parental or peer standards, or just being the odd one out in school or at home. However, it's mostly caused for not having the warm and loving environment everyone craves for. Low self-esteem is like a less form of depression, basically. However, it doesn't necessarily mean people with low self-esteem do the right thing to cope with their problem. Some end up having eating disorders, cutting, neglecting others, and repeating the cycle over and over. And these are some facts about what causes high and low self-esteem. High self-esteem comes from the exact opposite of low self-esteem, meaning people with high self-esteem have love and warmth. They met parental and peer standards. Most importantly, they are the golden child at home or at school. In result to this, they grow into someone ambitious, someone who isn't afraid to show their true selves in front of others. I want you all to take a good look at this picture right here. Did your eyes immediately dart over to the black dot in the center of the blank paper? Now, do you notice anything else besides the black dot? If you're shaking or thinking no, then what about this blank sheet of paper? I'm sure you have all seen it, but you have chosen to overlook it. In life, we also tend to overlook and take for granted many wonderful things that have happened to us. We focus our attention and energy on small dot-like failures and disappointments. These so-called problems that we have are usually like this black dot on the paper. So let's move on to what we can do to not look at those small, insignificant things that cause our problems. I like to remind people that self-esteem is like your inner voice. It literally helps you make your decisions in life. However, the number one thing that will help improve low self-esteem is time. Improving self-esteem can't happen overnight. Taking little baby steps every day will improve mental mood and health faster than piling thoughts all at one time. Secondly, when wanting to improve any type of self-esteem, you have to be motivated. You can't just sit in a corner mumbling to yourself how stupid it is trying to find and to improve something that you clearly think can't and won't work. Thirdly, surrounding yourself with people who you like and think are a good influence for you is helpful. Saying simple phrases like, I look great, I feel great, and I am great will help you mentally stabilize perspectives of yourself. We all know repeating something over and over for a long period of time will make you eventually believe whatever you're saying to yourself. Finally, when trying to resolve low self-esteem, always have hope and think for the best. You never know what could happen in life, so be grateful for what you have and try to move on. In conclusion, self-esteem impacts everyone's life daily, mentally, and/or physically. People are different, and that means the solutions of those people are also different. In order to improve and stop low self-esteem, we can do little things like self-praise to become a better person. What do you think is the best way to improve self-esteem?